When is the last time an anime or manga made you feel that One Piece magic? Okay, let me ask you another question. But when is the last time an anime or manga made you feel that One Piece magic, but with dragons? Yeah! A lot of people know the amazing feeling of watching One Piece for the first time. That's why as soon as something out there looks at least a little bit like One Piece, everyone jumps on it. But in the end, we're all disappointed. So when I heard that there was a brand new manga that might give me that experience again, and that for some reason every character had a comically large dragon tail, I immediately read it. And today, I'm gonna show you if this new manga has that One Piece magic that we all love, but I'll also show you what makes it stand out from One Piece. And you know what? I'll even let you know if I think this manga has the potential to become huge, or if it's just a lame copy of One Piece. Okay, imagine a world where you're a pirate. I know, it's not easy, but imagine. You go on an adventure in a world that you know nothing about to find a treasure that no one has ever found, left by the most famous pirate of all time who died years ago. Gold Roger. Okay, but how about this? Imagine a world where you're a pirate, you go on an adventure in a world that has been completely explored, there is no treasure, and the most famous pirate of all time is still freaking alive. And for some reason, his name is Yuri. This is the world of Galaxias. Let me ask you a simple question. How is this anything like One Piece? Like, we're not even at the dragon part yet, and this is already so different. Here's the thing. The first thing Galaxias actually needs to feel like One Piece is the sense of adventure. Otherwise, yeah, it will in fact be nothing like One Piece. Okay, so this is Gio, and this is her dad, who's also the mayor of the town. Gio wants to go on the adventure of a lifetime. She is equipped, she is ready, and no one can stop her. Unfortunately for Gio, her dad just happens to be a freaking half-dragon who uses a paralysis needle on his own daughter, and you're wondering why she wants to leave? Well, one day, a brave adventurer shows up, and when Gio explains that she wants to leave this island for an adventure once and for all, he proceeds to roast her. You dummy! You're so boring! Oh? Okay. But then, as if this wasn't enough, Roy Mustang shows up. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that's not him. You just cannot tell me it's not him. And like any good first villain, he gets absolutely obliterated by Gio and the other adventurer, who also happens to be a half-dragon, who then realizes, you know what? You're not the least bit boring, as they decide to begin their epic adventure. Galaxias captures the same feeling of adventure and mystery as One Piece does. I mean, it also has a bunch of these mini quests only in the first few chapters. But on top of that, it also has this inspirational quality that One Piece has. As corny as it might sound, my favorite thing about One Piece is how awesome and motivated it made me feel. And I definitely think that Galaxias has this kind of energy, which is really cool. The thing that One Piece does on top of that is balance adventure with really good comedy and more lighthearted moments. So I had to find out if Galaxias did this too, because otherwise it wouldn't even touch One Piece in terms of quality. Okay, so do you remember the half-dragon guy who's going on an adventure? Well, he gets caught like a fish after being thrown off a boat because he didn't know you had to pay to be on a boat. Because it turns out he lost his memory, and you know what? I really respect that that's the way they decided to introduce the main character. That's pretty bold. And a few pages later, did this man learn how to read on the 47th day of his adventure? So what have you been writing before that in your journal? I mean, I need to know. And then somehow only 2 pages later, I cannot believe that they referenced a famous painting for the main character trying to eat a whole jar of jam. Like, what is this manga even doing? You know how One Piece has this awesome sense of adventure, but it also has these hilarious moments of comedy? That makes the story so much more enjoyable, right? Like, Zoro getting lost is literally one of the most famous anime memes ever. And luckily, this is also one of the things that Galaxias does so freaking well. So far, Galaxias was nailing that One Piece magic with the adventure and comedy. There was one last thing left. The most important part of what makes One Piece so special is the cast of characters and how unique everyone is. So I started looking, because if Galaxias didn't get this right, everything before that would be for nothing. Okay, so the main character, half-dragon guy, is actually called Narrate, and he has this whole moment, obviously, where he's roasting Gio, but after that, he also asks her what she wants to do, and he really pushes her to do it, which I thought was pretty inspirational, actually.
But how about the other main character?
But Gio also has this really cool moment where she's fighting the first villain, which I thought was really awesome because in the beginning of the manga, I would never have imagined that about her, honestly.
And apart from the main characters,
dude, like, what even is this guy? There are so many original characters, and we're 3 chapters in.
The thing that makes One Piece so fun to watch is how different and crazy the characters can get. It kind of feels like you're spending time with friends and that each one of them has a unique personality. And even though Galaxias only has a few chapters, it's already showing really good potential for how diverse the cast could become. Okay, I know I told you this was the last thing, but honestly, I think there's something that One Piece does that I just love, and I just couldn't talk about One Piece without mentioning it. It's the environment. And I swear, I really wanted Galaxias to nail this. So I started looking, and I was pretty shocked.
Dude, check this out. This is like a massive bridge going from the first island to their next destination, I guess. And I think it looks really pretty.
And as soon as they cross that bridge,
look at how detailed this city is, but also like, look at how different it looks from the previous place. That's so awesome.
But I was so not ready for the next one.
So when they leave the city, they get to this like massive cliff, and look at how much effort went into this panel. And I mean, of course, one of them had to fall off the cliff, obviously.
The thing that I personally love the most about One Piece is the variety of completely different environments, because it makes you feel like you're actually traveling and discovering things with these characters. And it's also something Galaxias has done a really good job with, considering it's only a few chapters long. So far, this new manga was really nailing a lot of the things that make One Piece One Piece. But now, I was so excited to learn more about all the dragon stuff, and I had to find out what made Galaxias different from One Piece. Check this out.
Imagine you're going on this like massive adventure to find a legendary treasure. You've been preparing your whole life for this. So take a boat, you look at a map, and you go. Okay, and now imagine going on this massive adventure, but this time you have no idea what your life has been before you left. You just discovered what a boat is, and if you looked at a map, you'd probably think it was like an abstract painting or something. So what do? You still go.
And that's the difference between Luffy and Narade. Narade's journey isn't just about adventure. It's also about discovering who he is because he lost his memory. And don't get me wrong, it's not like having amnesia is some kind of really rare trope or something, but it means that on top of the main quest, there's another layer of mystery. You get to discover the world of Galaxias, but you also get to discover who Narade is. And even in the first couple of chapters, there are already some pretty intense discoveries. And even though this already made a big difference to the story, the part that made the biggest difference is this.
Okay, so in Galaxias, a lot of people have dragon tails, which gives them powers. For example, the mayor of this town is a centipede dragon who can use paralysis needles, just like a centipede.
And a little later, this guy shows up.
And the first villain is a scale dragon who can increase the matter he touches with his hands. And I am so sorry, but this panel is straight up looking like Alchemy from Full Metal Alchemist, so you cannot tell me that he's not at least inspired by Roy Mustang.
And then suddenly we get this.
And this old lady is a kangaroo dragon, which sounds kind of silly, but it allows her to create like this massive hand thing, and honestly, she just kind of has sick moves.
For the moment, we don't actually know anything about the dragons, even though they're a huge part of this. But what we do know is that they're basically the power system of Galaxias, and also really important for the story. In most series, dragons are like this really rare, really important creature. But in Galaxias, they're pretty much a part of this world, which means that we're probably gonna get so many different types of them. What I'm the most excited for is to discover what happened to the actual real dragons, not the dragon people. For the moment, it's honestly pretty difficult to say how different the dragon powers are from devil fruits. And yeah, in One Piece, we did discover more and more about the devil fruits the more the series went on. So Galaxias has a lot of similarities to One Piece, and it also has a lot of differences that make it kind of unique. But is it actually worth reading, or should you just stick to reading One Piece for the 10th time? Yeah, I see you. Honestly, I don't think there will ever be something that can replicate the exact magic of One Piece. But if you're looking for something that comes close, Galaxias is one of the best things I've found, and I think it has really good potential to become something really special. That being said, I really hope that in the future it's going to be its own unique thing and not just copy One Piece. And I guess that's something it has over One Piece is that you don't have to read a million chapters, which is nice.